Okay, so we're gonna get started. I've got a funny glare on the screen. I don't know, let's make it cool. It's like we're at a fish concert. We're strobe lights here. Okay, so we're gonna start seated. Go crisscross applesauce. And yeah, so crisscross applesauce and kind of yank your feet in under you. Yeah, yank your feet in under you. Flex your feet and then make sure your knees are kind of, coming a little over. Yeah, sit up nice and tall. And then you're gonna bring your arms forward such as this. And you're gonna wrap your right arm underneath your left arm. So just eagle the arms here. You're gonna inhale the breath. And then exhale, you're gonna start to hinge. Yeah, so and you're gonna round your spine. So if you come down and your head hurts, you take a block and you set yourself up like this. Right. So eagle arms in a seat. Round your spine. Round into yourself. Perfect. And just breathe. Close your eyes. I didn't say good morning, Kristen. Good morning. And as you fold, envision your spine rounding more and your seat kind of moving back to the skinny edge of your mat. And then on every exhale breath, yeah, think about getting a little closer to the ground. So if you're not near the floor, don't beat yourself up over it. Amy, we're in seated crisscross applesauce and we have eagle arms. And we're rounding down and folding. Yeah, stay with it. 2 more breaths. Like, let yourself drop in. We stop ourselves from relaxation. It's unbelievable. So just let yourself just be. There's nowhere to go today. Pull yourself up, unravel your arms. Good. And just switch the cross of the legs. And although it may not feel like anything's changing, it is. Sit yourself up here, then bring your arms forward and wrap the opposite arm. So most of us probably got something confused. If it feels like you stretched, so I'm going left underneath right. Inhale the breath, lengthen. And then exhale the breath, start to round and come down. Give a little energy to your feet. So you're not just flopping, right? It's still active. Round your spine, draw your belly in. Yeah, perfect. Let your head go if you can. Drop down a little deeper. There should be a spreading of your lower back, a spreading of your upper shoulder blades. Yeah, it's really nice. And a moving of your hips subtly back. And even if you're not like really bound with your arms, it can be looser if it's too much. Take 2 more breaths. Good. Start to pull yourself up. Good. Unravel your arms. Bend your legs in half, such as this, like you're going to make a little bridge with your legs. Yep. Take your palms flat down to the ground. Palms go flat or tent the fingertips, but I need your arms to be straight and your collarbone and your chest really open and your spine long. Just pause here. Lock your navel to the back of the spine. So isometric core work is really what I like to do. I don't enjoy heavy crunching. I like subtle movements. You're going to move slow here. Press the hands down into the floor. Keep broadening the throat and the chest. And then see if you can float your legs up to a 90-degree angle. Good. And you'll notice you have to lean back a little bit, but you don't want to go into your low back. Maybe tent the fingertips if having the palms flat doesn't work. Lock the belly into the back of the spine. Flex your toes. Flex them. And then lift your spine, your throat, your chest up. And hold. Keep your hands touching something. You're going to slide into an Ardha Navasana, but today's Ardha Navasana, the legs are going to go straight up. So the legs are going to go straight up to a 90-degree angle. Perfect. The hands are going to press down. Press them down firm. Scoop up your belly and lift your shoulder blades as high up off the floor as you can, keeping your legs straight up and down. Good. Keep pressing your hands firm into the mat. Legs straight up and down. Hold and breathe. Good, stay with it, a couple more breaths. Scoop out the belly more and see if you can lift your shoulders even higher, like really far up off the ground, lift it a little higher, and then slide your arms straight forward. Now they're touching nothing. They're reaching in space forward. Good, bend your knees in half. Reach forward, pull yourself to a regular Navasana. It may not be pretty. Lift your chest. My legs are bent in my boat pose. If you can have straight legs, that's great, but most of us don't. Cross your ankles, plant the hands, step to a down dog. So arrive in your first down dog and pedal out your feet today. Take up a lot of space on your mat this morning. Indulge, yeah, indulge. What did I hear the other day? I was taking some class or something, and I heard, you're the CEO of your body. The CEO of your body. And I thought that was so true and so funny. It's like, okay, so get in charge of your real estate, know where your body is on your mat, and own that, because your alignment is like everything. So your feet can be hips width, they can be a little wider this morning. Your knees can be bent, but always check in and make sure that your hands are forward. Maybe even a little turned out if a tightness kind of creeps up into the shoulders. Let your head go and breathe your hips really high up off your shoulders. Get out of the joints this morning. Fix your eyes on something that's not moving. Roll forward to plank. Stack your body here. So from dog to plank, we kind of find our sweet spot. So for the first one, sometimes you have to walk it out. In your plank, contract your belly into the back of the spine, plug your hands down into the mat, lead with your chest forward. It's kind of like you're breathing your chest to the front edge of the mat. But when you do that, keep your neck super neutral. So that way we don't do anything funny there. You can always drop your knees if you're not feeling it this morning. Looks good, Jody. Plug down. Grip the sides of your arms underneath you. Hug the outer thighs, the outer ankles in. Rock more weight forward, hold. So if you get annoyed by holding poses, just come back to your breath and fuel yourself with that energetic flow. Inhale through your nose to the back of the throat. Exhale, hold. Hips up and back, down dog. So most likely you found your spot. Your hands and feet don't need to move now. No, roll forward again to a plank and you'll see it's set up for you. It's pretty cool. Plank position, nice release. Bring more weight forward and lengthen your tailbone. Bend your elbows in half or drop your knees if you need to. So you can support to a chaturanga, your version of chaturanga. Re-straighten your arms to a plank. Do it again, chaturanga or supported chaturanga. Your knees can drop, your neck is neutral, your belly is in. Re-straighten your arms to a plank. Try it one more time, halfway down, a version that works for you. Support if you need. Lead with your chest for your first clean, smooth up dog or baby cobra. Yeah, legs are strong if you're an up dog. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Allow yourself to settle into the practice. It is a meditation. Look to the top of the mat. Take 2 big steps to get there this morning. I'm going to go with feet a little bit separated here. Long spine, weight stays forward. Hands can also come on your shins. Remember that. Exhale, fold. Try it again. Come to the fingertips, long spine. So line your fingertips up with your toes or hands on the front of your shins. Either works. Weight forward. Exhale, fold over yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Anchor yourself. Hands come to prayer at heart. Drop your arms and just stand for a moment. And just feel today's body. No judgment. Just moving through the practice and enjoying yourself. Slide the arms straight up, look up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go as you fold. Come to the fingertips to prepare. Plant your palms. Take 2 big steps to the back. When you arrive in your plank, lower just halfway. Don't go any further than that to a chaturanga or drop your knees. Pull yourself through an up dog or baby cobra. If something's going on and you can't take up dog, take baby cobra. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Look to the top of the mat, 2 big steps. I alternate when I step. So if I step with my right and then I step with my left the next time. Long spine, exhale, fold, root to rise, come all the way up. Hands to prayer at heart, drop your arms. Keep going, arms up, look up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, long spine, plant your palms. So step, step, plank. Lower halfway, chaturanga. Pull yourself through a smooth up dog. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. So if something's going on in your body today, you can omit those push-ups. You can omit the up dog. You can just go right to a down dog. Look to the top of the mat, step or float your feet through. Long spine, keep that weight forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag the hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Arms slide up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare. Step, step, or at this point you can float to a chaturanga if you can do it safely. Up dog pulls you through. Nice. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out, spreading of your toes. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top. Long spine, keep the weight forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag the hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Again, arms reach up. Go a little bolder. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips. Prepare. Step or float through your vinyasa. So make it work at this point for you. Up dog is smooth. Legs are strong if you're taking it. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Good. Roll forward to a plank with excitement. Everyone's boxes look like they're exploding a lot of energy. Hug your right knee straight in. Scoop out your belly. You could try and draw the knee towards the center line, or you can even try and round your forehead in. Either works for today. But create the arms straight up and down and keep hugging the navel to the back of the spine. Now look forward with your eyes. Land your right foot all the way forward and through. Come to your fingertips for a moment. Drop your back knee on an angle. Sweep your arms up, supported lunge. Just come to a supported lunge. Hip points are forward. Right knee tracks over right ankle. Back legs on a nice little angle here. And arms really reach. And then look up with your eyes. Get a little heavier in your hips. Perfect. So without bringing the hands to the ground, start to curl your back left toes into the mat. And obviously you skip this if this isn't for you. Start to fire up from your left hamstring and start to lift the knee and hover it. So you're just lifting like 2 inches from the ground. Good. So with a bent back left leg, arms reach up, move. You can actually take your hands and move your hip points forward. Move them forward, like give yourself a physical adjustment. Good. With your hands on your hips, start to fire up your back leg. So squeeze all the muscles around your hamstring, your glute, your calf, and then grow the arms back up. And see if you find a little bit more depth in the pose. It may or may not work for you. Soften the shoulders, deep into the front right thigh, and back leg strong. Squeeze your inner and outer hips in. And connect to your breath. Hands to the floor, plank position. Plank position. In your plank, take your left knee and hug it in. Hug it straight in towards the center line of your body. Yeah, so do what you want. You can take it straight in. You can round in a little more. Whatever feels good in your body this morning, go with. Arms straight up and down and back leg straight though. Look forward with your eyes. Step your left foot all the way forward. Take a big step. Drop your back knee on an angle. Make sure your alignment is set for you. And then bring your arms up, supported lunge. Just start really basic. I know you can always stay with this. Just staying with this is even going to stretch your hip flexors, which is great for all of us. Eyes are forward. So without moving your hands yet, really focus on your arms moving up. Yes. Start to lift your right knee 2 inches. Yes. So once you're hovering the right knee from the ground, then bring your hands to your hips. Then move your hips, like literally, it's almost like you're lifting them up and then forward. And then from the back leg, start to straighten it out and see if your hips stay where they are. Once you find the sweet spot with your legs, grow your arms up. And then breathe. Drive the feet into the mat. Yeah, lift from your waist. So an energy is pulling you down and pulling you up, kind of a neat sensation. Yep. Activate the back right hamstring a little more. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Step to a plank. Step to a plank. In your plank, hug your right knee to your navel. So do the same thing here. Hug it in tight. Drive the arms and the hands down and activate the back leg. Step your right foot all the way forward and through. Come to your fingertips. Turn your back foot on a strong angle this time. Steer your right hip underneath you and your left thigh forward. Reach your arms back. Hover over your front thigh. Feel your feet drive into the mat. Feel your inner and outer thighs kind of working together. And then come up. Arms out and up, warrior one. So you want to turn your left ribs forward. Your right hip back, your left ribs forward. And really sit deep into your front right thigh. And then look up with your eyes. Outer blade of back foot, press more. Press more with it through the back foot, and you're gonna get a little bit more success. Hands come to frame your front foot, step to a plank. Just be in a plank. In your plank, drive your left knee to your navel. So when you press down through your hands, feel your outer shoulders kind of pull apart and hug in at the same time. Draw it a little closer, see what you can find. Look forward and step your left foot all the way forward and through. Come to your fingertips first. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. Find the right position with your feet. Grip your left hip. Turn the right thigh forward and then drive your arms back. Make your arms strong. So the gripping of your triceps, the steering of your right ribs. Press strong through your feet and your legs. Out and up with your arms. Warrior one. So once you get up, see if you can turn your right ribs forward more. And breathe your chest forward. Look up with your eyes. Get a little heavier in your front left thigh and then press firm through the back blade of your right foot. Another big breath in. Hands come to frame your front foot. Step to a plank. In your plank, lean onto your right hand, Vashisthasana side plank. Just move nice and slow here. Your right hand may need to come out an inch in front of your right wrist. Drop to your forearm or drop your bottom knee if you need an alternative this morning. Lift your top hip, lift it up, and your bottom hip up. Drive the two arms on top of one another for this variation. And then if you want to hover your left foot from your right foot, just lift it 2 inches. Yeah, 2 inches, not 20 inches, 2 inches. It's harder. Grip your bottom hip underneath you, press down, lift higher, lower the foot, eyes to the floor, plank. Pause and plank. Set yourself up here. You may need to bring your left hand an inch forward. Roll, stacking your body. Just nice and simple this morning. Root down and then rise up, right arm towards the sky. Dropping your bottom knee is always an option, or your forearm. Make sure your top hip isn't peeling open. It's stacked over your bottom. And then if you want to play this morning, lift your right foot about 2 inches from your left. So it's hovering. Lift a little higher. Lower the right foot down. First look down with your eyes, then bring your right hand to the floor, plank. When you arrive in plank, bend your elbows in half, chaturanga, and hold. Draw your belly in, squeeze into the center line, keep your neck neutral. Chaturanga, activate your legs. Drag yourself through an up dog, pause in the up dog, legs strong. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, full breath out. Look where you want to go, step or float to the top. Long spine right here, weight is forward. Exhale, fold, let your head go. Sit into chair. Weight is in your heels. Yeah, so in chair, play with, so my feet are together now. They've kind of drifted, but my mom's over here and her feet are about hips width, a little less than hips width. It's the same posture. You may just find a little less pressure in your lower back when you separate your feet. Your arms are driving up. Now, if your shoulders aren't tight, they're more together. If they're tight, they're open a little bit more. Press up to stand, drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms by your side body. Just 3 sun Bs together. We'll keep it simple. Arms reach up, sit deep into your chair, however that looks. Nice, weight in your heels, guys. Exhale, fold over your legs, let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare yourself, step or float through your vinyasa. So that could just be going back to a down dog this morning, and there's no judgment. Nice jump back. From your down dog, glide your right foot forward, warrior 1. Or if you're modifying, make the necessary modification work. Bring it back down to the floor through your vinyasa. When you get to your downward facing dog, land that left foot forward, turn the back foot strong, coming up warrior 1. Bring it back down to the floor, plank position. Chaturanga, if you're taking, it's only halfway. Up dog, smooth. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, let your head go. Deep breath out. Look where you want to go, step or float to the top. Long spine, keep that weight forward. Exhale, fold, let the head go. Sit into chair, weight moves into your heels. Press up to a standing position, drag it to prayer, drop your arms. So get out of your head and just move through your body. Arms reach up, sit deep chair. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare, step or float through your vinyasa this morning. Up dog should feel good, just reminding you of that. It's a back bend. Hips up and back, downward facing. Right foot forward, back foot turns, warrior 1. So you're all moving like a little different as far as pace. Yeah, hands come down, plank, chaturanga. Upward facing, hips up and back, downward facing. Don't feel like you're rushing. Left foot forward, back foot turns, warrior 1. Bring it back down to the floor through your vinyasa. Hips up and back. We have the opportunity to meet in our down dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Just let your body and feel it. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top or crawl. Long spine. Exhale, fold. Find your chair. This is one pose that I'll never go back practicing in a hot room. It's so much better not in a hot room. I feel the chair, right? Otherwise, I'm just suffering. Press up to stand, drag it to prayer. We'll never say never. Drop your arms. Here we go, one more. Slide the arms up, sit deep chair. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine on the inhale, step or float through your vinyasa. Up dog, smooth. Hips up and back, downward facing. One more time here, right foot steps, back foot turns, warrior 1. Just nice and smooth and steady. Bring it back down to the floor through your vinyasa. Up dog. Hips up and back, down dog. Left foot forward, back foot turns, warrior 1. Bring it back down to the floor, plank position, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, point your toes. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Roll forward to plank. Hug your right knee in, round your spine. So this is isometric core right here. Scoop out your lower belly. Press the hands firm. Activate the sides of the arms. Look forward with your eyes. Land your right foot forward. Walk it to the right, guys. Come to your fingertips and just pause. Activate like you're leading with your chest. Yes. And if your hands don't make it, you always find something to place underneath them so you can bring the floor up to you. It's really important. Squeeze the back leg strong. Sweep your arms up, high lunge, crescent lunge. Good. Bring your arms straight forward like you're holding a block, not your whole body, just your arms. Wrap the sides of the triceps in. So this is meant to be done slow so you can really find each transition. Wrap your left arm underneath your right first. If something's going on in your shoulder, you can go opposite shoulders. You can also take the hands to prayer. So eagle arms is where we're going. Pause. Squeeze and sit deep into your front right thigh, and then move with control, wrapping your left leg around for eagle. Wrap the left leg around. However that's going to look for you. Getting your foot to hook around your calf is optional. Think of chair with the lower half of the body. Lift your elbows up, steer your hips back, drive the right heel into the mat, and squeeze down the center line of the body. So some of you like to go to sleeping eagle, which is essentially wrapping your torso forward and hooking your arms, your elbows in front of the kneecap. So this is optional. You can round like we did before. Keep your eyes fixed. Squeeze the lower half of the body in. Quiet the mind. So if you went to the sleeping version, bring your torso up just a little bit and pause. And you're going to unravel your left leg, stay low to the ground, and step back. Warrior one. Sweep your arms out and up. The funky transition. So if you need to reset, take a moment. You reset. Warrior one. Right leg is forward, back leg is turned enough. Drop your arms by your side body. Clasp your hands behind your back. Inhale your breath. Exhale, come forward, humble. So humble warrior. This is the funny pose. So you can either rest your stomach on the front thigh, or you can kind of snuggle your right shoulder in. But you want to make sure both hips move forward and your head softens to the floor. Your clasped hands can drop down to open up the shoulders. Pay attention to your right hip. Has a tendency in either of these options to kind of go a little wild. Hug it underneath you. Grip your right hip in strong and activate your left leg. Stay with the breath. Couple more. Press strong through your feet. Pull your torso up. Keep the shape of the legs. Unravel your arms, warrior one. Let the hands draw to a prayer straight up. Look up with your eyes. Gather in. Bring it to the floor through a vinyasa or right to a dog, however you are feeling. The goal is to feel good. Hips up and back, downward facing is where we meet. Roll forward to plank. Hug your left knee in. Draw it a little closer. Keep your arms straight up and down. Look forward with your eyes. Land your left foot forward. Pause for a second. Most of us are in a rush. I know I always am. I'm rushing to do everything. But in our yoga practice, it's really important to do things slow. Number one, so we don't hurt ourselves. So number two, so we can feel what we're doing. So grip your hips in and lead with your chest. Pause. Activate your back leg. Once you feel like you have this strong stability in the lower half of the body, then start to bring yourself up. And then just be here for a moment. Drive down into the mat, energetically reach. Good, keep the whole shape of the lower half of the body. Bring your arms just forward, pause. Wrap the sides of your triceps in, like really firm up your arms, like you're pointing your fingers forward. Yep. Perfect. Wrap your left arm, excuse me, it's the left arm. The right arm, sorry. Right arm underneath the left. Good, press strong into the standing left leg. Swing the right leg around, eagle. Mine was like a crazy eagle. Crazy eagle bird. Wrap the arms and wrap the legs. Drop your hips low. Squeeze the lower half of the body. Yeah, the transition could be a little funny. Think lower half the body in chair. Hips back, chest up. Then if you want to add in the sleeping part, which I'm convinced has been made up by people over the years, start to tip forward, round your spine and draw in. You can just play with going a little bit down too. So round into yourself. Keep the weight in the standing left heel. Squeeze a little tighter. So stay low, but just lift your torso a little bit. Stay low, unravel, warrior one. So it's a step back, sweep your arms out and up. If you need to reset, take a second and reset your stance. Drop your arms by your side body, pause. Opposite grip, opposite thumb, opposite baby finger. Inhale the breath, bend deep into the front left leg. Exhale the breath, come forward. So either resting your stomach on your thigh or getting in there. You're hugging your shoulder to the inside of your left leg. You may find that you need to kind of turn your right foot a little more forward. So the steering of your ribs moves forward, the head drops down, and the hands clasp can drop as well. Breathe. So as we hold, the left hip wants to drive out, hug it in. Two more. So focus a lot of strength on your legs. Keep the shape of the legs. Start to pull your torso up. As you come up, unravel your arms. Cross the hands into a prayer. Bring them into a prayer. Straight up. Gather inward. Bring it to the floor through a vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Smooth transition. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Have a block at the top of the mat. From your downward facing dog, step your right foot forward into a low lunge. Have the block a position that you know is going to work for your half moon. So from here, we're working into half moon. Okay, so I'm going to go with the highest setting today. Yeah, sometimes your balance is really off and you need to go to a wall. Yeah, make sure your wall doesn't consist of a fireplace. Yeah. Focus on your standing right leg, gripping your hip in, just like you did in that humble warrior, and then growing the pose how you wish. Your left leg is in line with your hip. Your top arm extends up like side plank arms, and then the goal is to look up if you can. And if you fall out, you come back again. Your bottom side ribs are long. If you want to add in Chopassana today, you can. So Chopassana is just a half moon adding a top leg into a bind. So you bend your left leg, you reach back. The kick goes behind you though. Yeah, not up, go straight behind you. And then I like to soften my right knee so I know I'm not jamming into the joint. And then look up. If this is unavailable, it's okay. Maybe get lighter in your bottom hand. Maybe just focus in on your breath. If you took a bind, release into a regular half moon and pause. So we're going to transition slow together. If you know you need the block, you'll bring it with you. Take a giant step back, warrior two. Warrior two. Yeah, slide your right foot across and make sure it lines up with your left arch. And then open up your torso. Actually do this, guys. Bring your arms straight up towards the sky, like you're holding a block. Yeah. Wrap your right thigh open. So when I say open, I'm going to roll my right thigh towards my fireplace. Yeah. And I'm going to press my left leg strong. Now I'm going to breathe my left shoulder back a little, my right ribs forward. Then I'm going to drop my arms back down. I like the palms facing towards you with the thumbs up, but that's personal preference. Lengthen the tailbone. Drive the feet into the mat and maybe even close your eyes. And a good tip, the front arm and the back arm, equal amount of energy. So sometimes we rely on the front arm a little bit more. At least take a tiny bit of a bigger step and see if you can find that. Yes. And then think of squat when you drop your tailbone down. Good. Keep the shape of the legs. Flip the right palm. Yeah. reverse the warrior. So reverse warrior is essentially just your arms just moving a little and getting a side body opening, but keep dropping your right thigh down and let your left hand slide down the back of the left thigh a little. Come back through warrior 2, reach out and rest your right hand on the inside of the right foot. I'm gonna go with a block. Yeah, arm can also rest on the top of the thigh if this is where you're at or you don't have a block, okay? Lean back into the inside of the thigh. Drive the left arm up, look up. So half bind, full bind is a great alternative and option here. Wrap the left hand around and see if you can reach it to the inner part of the right thigh. You can just stay with open arms as well. Bottom arm wraps under. There's a lift of your torso and a leaning back. I like a half bind. Yeah, drive the feet into the mat. Grip the right hip underneath you and turn your bottom ribs from right to left. Look up. Feel your feet press down. Feel your hips get heavy. Feel the torso turn. Stay with it. Two more. Listen, if you have a half bind or a full bind, keep it if you know you can keep it. Good. We're going to straighten out the right leg into bound triangle pose. So I'm going to go with the half bind. I'm just straightening my right leg. I'm keeping my left hand bound around and I'm grabbing somewhere on the front of my right shin. If you're not in a bind, you just move into a very basic triangle. If you need to reset, you come up. It's the same alignment. Torso turning open, gaze looking up, side ribs long. Nice, Susan. Stay with it. Breathe your throat and your chest open. Ground your feet. Feel your inner and outer thighs lifting. If you're in any sort of bind, unravel your arms, regular triangle. Let the blood flow. Look to the floor, circle the hands down. Move yourself through a vinyasa. Keep it simple. Chaturanga is going to feel good. Maybe upward facing is going to feel better. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. From your down dog, just step your left foot forward into a low lunge. You get yourself together, you find your block, and then you float into your version of half moon. Do it slow, because if we just pop into these poses, we don't really know what's going on. Bottom ribs open, top arm extends up. Right leg's in the line, the same alignment as your hip. And then drive the right arm up. There you go. Grip your left hip strong and make sure your left foot stays forward. And it takes a few moments to find it. Then if you feel like you want to embellish and add on, bend at your knee crease, reach back, grab your ankle, and start the kick behind you. If this isn't for you, just stay. Maybe work on softening your bottom hand, bring your bottom hand up a little to less fingers, maybe into a prayer. If you fall, try again. If you took a bind, release the leg, regular half moon. Transition is important, so move with ease. If you need your block, bring it with you. Giant step back, warrior 2. Widen your stance. If your feet are all over the place, see if you can line them up. Heel to heel, heel to arch. Open up your arms nice and wide. And like we did on the other side, just bring your arms straight up. Yes, roll your thigh open and move your torso. So your left ribs forward and your right ribs back a little. And then keep that and re-drop the arms. Warrior 2, 5 breaths. Settle in here. Anchor the back leg. Lengthen the tailbone. Such a powerful posture that creates so much resistance in your physical mind. Try to enjoy it. Little reminder, both arms are using an equal amount of energy. So if your front arm seems to be leading, give your back arm a little bit more love. Keep the shape of the legs, flip the palm, just reverse the warrior. It's a very small movement. It's not a ginormous movement. Slide the right hand back. You shouldn't be dumping into your low back. It's a side body hip opener. Revisit warrior 2. Reach out and find extended side angle B. Block is awesome. Arm to the top of the thigh, such as I'm showing here. This is a great alternative. Set yourself up, grip the hip in, lean back a little bit into it, and then add in your half bind. Maybe your full bind if you're feeling bold. Full bind, I always go for it, and then I'm like, oh God, that was a bad idea. So do what you know you can hold, or at least try. Nice. Grip your left hip underneath you. Turn the bottom ribs, and then see if you can look up. Get a little heavy on your hips and use the strength of your back leg. We're still in it. So we're going to transition together slow into a version of triangle with a half bind or full bind. So if you got the half bind or the full bind, start to straighten out your leg. If your bottom arm is not bound, pull up in the front of the shin. If you're in a full bind, lift your torso, create the twist, and lean back a little bit. If you're in a regular triangle, that is fine. Feel your feet on the floor. Any of my bindings, people, my binders, unravel, regular triangle, Trikonasana. Anchor your top leg, lead with your top arm, pull up, straight arms, straight legs. Pivot your toes in, bring your hands to your hips. Now your feet are facing forward. Interlace your hands or just have your hands on your hips. You pick today, we're just doing one of these. Inhale the breath, exhale, you're gonna come forward. So as you come down, either clasp hands or your hands kind of in chaturanga-like arms. If you have an inversion practice here, you wanna go up into a tripod headstand, this is actually a great place to incorporate that in. See how you're all doing. So just letting you know, so Elise, bend a little bit more behind your knees. Nice, Susan. So when inversions are offered, this is always a great alternative because this is creating the same element of an inversion when you just fold down the center. Nice, Reg. And you can bend your knees as much as you need. Nice, Susan. Beautiful job. So if you went up, split the legs in half, pause. Good, and then lower slow. And then everybody bring your hands down, bring them underneath your shoulders, hands to your hips. Pull yourself up, pivot your front foot to the front of the mat, and then just step to the top. You're just gonna step to the top of your mat. Very simple transition. Just stand at the top of your mat and just feel your energy. There should be a major shift from when we started. So stick with the flow a little longer, guys. Anchor your feet into the floor, bring your arms up. Your favorite, here we go, chair pose. Drag your hands to prayer, inhale the breath, hook the elbow, take it to the right. Yeah. So when this pose is done kind of independently like this, it feels a lot different. So just focus on your breath and creating a strong shape with your body. If you want to open up your arms today, dabble with a little side crow, you're welcome to do this. We're staying for 3 more breaths, so it's not a lot of time. Squeeze in and twist open a little more. Keep the strong shape of your legs. Pull around to chair. Good. Shoot up to stand. Bring your hands to prayer and actually bring them behind your back to reverse prayer, just like this. Now you're gonna take your hands the opposite direction, walk them up the back. Separate your feet to their hips with distance. Step your left foot back about 3 feet. Yeah. If you can't walk your hands up your back, you can double fist them here. You can grab opposite elbows. Your hands can be on your hips. Your right leg is forward, your left leg is back. Inhale the breath. Exhale the breath, you're gonna come down. Good. As you bend over your front right leg, you have to soften the front leg a little, but use the strength of the back leg to drive down. Keep walking your hands up your back and squeezing your palms if they're in a reverse prayer together. Let your head go. Steer your hips back, integrate your legs more. Let your torso drop. Press really firm through your legs and your feet. Come only halfway up and pause. Slide your hands to your hips. Steer your hips back, like give yourself that adjustment. Keep the right hand on your hip and drive your left arm forward. So you're hovering. Feel the legs, the strength of them. Reach out a little bit more and then slide your hand to the floor or a block for twisting triangle. I immediately bring my hand to the flat part of my back to check in that this is aligned. Spine long, hips moving back, legs strong. Stack the right arm up if you can twist. Breathe into the openness of your chest and let your eyes move up the side wall or up towards the ceiling. Stay with this, or look down, move your block forward, float your back leg up. It should be a seamless transition, revolved Ardha Chandrasana. It is an optional part of the practice. If you're happy in revolved triangle, stay with it, 5 more breaths. If not, lift from your inner thigh. It's like warrior 3 with a twist. More breath, more feeling. Try not to fight it. Grip your right hip in strong wherever you are. Another big breath in. Look down, place both hands down to the floor. Land your feet together. Sit into chair. Sit into chair. Drive your hips back. Slide your hands to prayer one more time. Inhale the breath. Take it now to the left. So strong legs, but really solid twist. Open up your arms if you want more. You should be able to breathe. Go into a side crow if you want to play. So you'll have chaturanga-like arms and you'll be resting your weight on your front arm. Keep the knees, the shins, the feet all lined up nicely and get in there. Strong legs, guys. Stay with it. Chair pose. Press up to stand. Good. Bring your hands to prayer. Separate your feet from me, hips width distance. Slide your arms up your back, opposite way. If you feel like you grabbed opposite thumb, opposite elbow, you just want to always switch it up. Inhale the breath, step your right foot back. I always walk my left foot over to the left a little. Inhale the breath, steer the waist forward. Exhale, soften the front leg and then bend. Let your head go if you can. Or not, you can stay up halfway and really work the legs. Nice work. So my back foot is pretty much turned forward, just to give you an idea. Okay, really focus on your legs, like squeeze the muscles around your quadricep and your knee, press firm through your legs, come up only halfway. So when you come up halfway, steer your hips back, slide your hands to your hips, move your left hip back and then drive your right arm forward. You should feel the strength that you've created. You've created this awesome template to move. Right hand then can come down and it's a pretty easy movement into twisting triangle because all the work has been done. Stack the 2 arms, steer the hips back and grip your left hip. Mine has a tendency to want to sway out. Grip it and strong. And then breathe with excitement that today is spring, the sun is out. Lots to look forward to. So this is a great spot to stay. If this is calling your name, you stay with this. If you want to move on, look down, float the block underneath the right shoulder and lift the back leg up, revolved Ardha. So it's like warrior 3, the hips are squared, the back leg is strong, and you're continuing to twist. It is optional, stay with twisting triangle if you feel like you're getting what you need. A few more breaths. Stay with it right here. Wherever you are, look down. Place both hands to the floor. Giant step back if you're in the twisting revolve version. If not, just step back, plank. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Pull yourself through up dog. Point your toes. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Land your right foot forward. Drop your back knee down like we started the practice. Bring your arms up. Last time today on the right side. Hands come to prayer at heart. Inhale that breath. Hook the elbow, take it to the right. So I want to do it this way for a moment, okay? Your left elbow is hooking to the outside of your right thigh, and your hands are in prayer. You're hugging your right hip underneath you. My back toes are curled into the mat today. If you'd like, you can stay with this, or you can reach your right arm back. This may be where you stay. If you feel that you can kick your foot up and grab your ankle, it's kind of combined pose. Good, you can get hold of your ankle. If this is not for you, just have the action of the arm reaching back and the heart and the chest open as you twist. So there's different parts here. Don't get sad if you're only doing the first part. Good, just make sure at least that when you do it, your knee isn't driving into the mat. If it feels like okay, then you know you're on the right spot. And one little trick, don't look all the way back. I have a tendency to like round the spine. Yeah, so look sideways, Mark, and you're good to go. Good, if you got hold of your foot, let the foot go. If you're just reaching back with your hand, bring the hand back to a prayer. Bring both hands to frame the front foot. Activate your back leg. Take your hands flat and create a half pigeon with your right leg. So you're hovering the right leg in a half pigeon and hold. Then lower the leg down, half pigeon and fold, okay? So as you fold down, breathe. If something's going on here and this doesn't feel good for you, you can always go on your back and go into a thread the needle, ankle to knee. Let your body, your mind, and everything just kind of melt. Your hands are going to come directly underneath your shoulders. Curl the back toes into the mat. Hover the right leg how you got in. So how we got in is how we're going to get out. Arms are straight up and down. Slide the right foot back into a plank. Then bend your elbows, slow chaturanga. Pull yourself through an up dog. Take your hips up and back, downward facing. From this down dog, land your left foot forward. Drop the back knee on an angle. You can always pad the knee. Bring the arms up into a supported lunge. So this is how we're taking it today. The back leg is not going to straighten. Hands come to prayer. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, take the twist. You can just stay with this. This is a great place to be for today. You can even opt out and just have the hand down and take it a little less abrasive. Okay, so if you want to move on, the right elbow is going to hook to the outside of the left thigh. You can stay here or you can slide your left arm back. Try not to look all the way back because it kind of rounds the spine. Look, I'm going to look towards you. Then if you want to add on, bend at your knee crease and see if your foot can draw up towards your butt and maybe your hand can grab it. I like to flex the foot to activate more. Wherever you are is fine. Breathe. If the arm is just reaching back, keep the arm really engaged. Three more breaths. Grip your left hip in strong. Lengthen and twist. If you grabbed your foot, let the foot go. Everyone's arms are reaching back. Bring the hands back to a prayer so you're in supported crescent twist. Look down with your eyes. Take both hands to frame your front foot. Activate your back leg, push the hand strong into the mat, and create your left leg into a half pigeon and let it hover. See if you can bring your shin a little bit more like it's going to karate chop your front right forearm. Then land the leg down, half pigeon pose. Not a long hold, so just take the time to kind of melt. Yeah, steer the right side of your body forward and then drape your torso down. Hands directly underneath the shoulders, guys. Curl the back toes into the mat. Lift the leg on that strong angle into this hovering half pigeon. Slide the left foot back into plank. Lower halfway down and pause and hold. Lower all the way down to your belly. Slide the left arm forward, bend the right knee in half, reach back with the right hand. So we're going to break up the floor bow here. Take a giant breath in. Keep the two knees sliding right next to one another so the right leg doesn't wing out. Inhale the breath. Kick the right foot up and back and drive the left arm and the left leg up off the floor. Keep the neck long. So kick into your right hand and reach and stretch with the left side of your body. Keep your eyes down. Take another big breath in, lift a little higher. Exhale the breath, lower down and switch. Right arm forward, left leg back, grab the ankle. Get the two knees to line up. Inhale the breath, kick the foot into the hand. Exhale the breath, right arm, right leg, lift. Make sure the left leg isn't winging all the way out. It's right behind you as you kick up and back a little bit more. Exhale the breath, lower down. Take your hands, set them up for an up dog. Slide yourself through one. Pull your chest through your body. Lead with your heart. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look in between your hands. Hop your feet all the way through and lay down. So as you hit the floor, you're going to finish off with 2 final back bends and then Shavasana. So more restorative, go for the block. Right. Set your feet up here so your fingertips touch the backs of your heels. Lift your tailbone up and clasp your hands. Shimmy the shoulders underneath. Anchor the feet and the legs and then lift up. If you're just going for the yummy version, the block can be any level underneath your low back. If you want to just go for full wheel, flip your palms, bring your chin to your chest, take a giant breath in, lift yourself up. It looks great. If you went up into a full wheel, tuck your chin, exhale your breath, lower down. Yeah, camel pose, that's cool. If you're in the regular bridge pose, lower your hips, take a breath in. One more, take a breath out. Here we go, final one, full wheel, supported bridge, camel pose, thinking about one of those. Bring yourself up and here we go. Steer your feet forward. Nice, Kristen, clasp your hands around the block if you can, and that's going to give you the back bend. So shimmy your shoulders and see if you can get your chest to get a little lift. Nice, Jody. I was going to give you a compliment there. You came out. Tuck your chin. Come out when you're ready, guys. Move any objects out of the way, yeah. And give your knees a hug in, a squeeze in. Yes. Reach for the outer blades of your feet, happy baby. Pull your knees down around your rib cage. There should be a spreading of your lower back. And then draw your knees in one last time and slide yourself in complete rest. So if you got the playlist going, you can go to the final song if you're not already there. Yep. If you're not doing the playlist, just enjoy the quiet or whatever you're not listening to. Set yourself up to be comfortable for the next minute or two, though. Complete rest is what we're aiming for. Take a really full breath in. Take a really loud exhale breath out. If nobody is bothering you and you can stay here longer, by all means, indulge. If you need to re-enter the world, bring your arms up over the top of the head. Give yourself a really big stretch. Hug your knees firmly in towards your chest and squeeze. Move slow in your body and rock yourself up however you like. So you could just come up, you can roll aside and sit up nice and tall. When you come to this final position, give yourself a moment to just kind of drop inward and feel how your body feels, feel how your mind feels, feel how your breathing feels, and feel the power of your energy. It's pretty cool how you can create this. Bring the hands to a prayer, bow your head for a moment with gratitude always. So grateful. Lift the head, open the eyes. Namaste. Thank you so much. So stay tuned. I will continue to be in touch with you all and look forward to more practice as the weather gets better.